What really concerns me is there were drugs in that toilet.
Oh, this school's so big.
Teaching is anything but just the subject that you're teaching. Teaching is just a whole raft of human emotions on a daily basis.
They're talking at you, with you, you're interacting with every single student of every single class, and you finish for the day, and then it's starting again.
Everyone thinks they can be a teacher, but the reality is that's not true. Teachers are quite special.
In 2012, Auckland's Long Bay College opened its doors to the cameras to show what really goes on in a typical Kiwi high school.
We're the only country in the world where a principal is a complete and entire CEO. And what it means I can do is I can really control the culture of the school. For me, culture is everything. You get the culture right, and then great things will happen.
Welcome to our family. Welcome to Long Bay College. I'd like to just introduce you to some important people. These are all deputy principals of the school. You probably know Mrs. Framo, who did your enrolment.
Hello, come in. Hello. Hi. All day in a day, was it? You do need to read the uniform sheet very, very carefully, though, because we're very strict.
Mr. Rowlands here is the deputy principal in charge of your learning, and you.
Are you capable of passing level 1?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, I think so as well. What stops you?
I find it really hard to work in a classroom environment.
There's an awful lot more to education than simply the end result of how many scholarships a school is getting. There's an awful lot more that goes on to develop the whole student, preparing the students for life.
Right, listening for a minute.
Part of that culture is student leadership and student voice. And so we do have prefects and we have student leaders.
Hi, I'm Ashley, I'm the head girl.
And hi, I'm Alex, I'm the head boy.
But year 9s, 10s and 11s do need to look up and see what the school thinks are great role models. And that's what the prefects do.
The first proper button, I think it's more appropriate if that one's done up.
In year 7, the schools come to intermediate and they talk to you. And I saw the head girl standing up there and something just inside me clicked and I was like, I want to be in your position. So ever since year 7, I have strived and pushed to get that.
Do you guys have any questions? No? No questions.
We'll just explain.
Well, during the year we organise events.
I don't think people realise how long I've been looking forward to this. So when you finally get it.
Do you have $2? I actually want to get a drink. Do you have $2? Have another mint. Yeah.
Eli came to us in year 10 from another school and he has enjoyed his time at Long Bay College, but he really struggles to fit in with classes and struggles with particular teachers. He really struggles with authority.
Yeah. I have the dries, thank you.
He can't handle being told what to do.
Well, me and my maths teacher don't really get along, but sometimes I'm very disruptive in class. Maybe because of my ADHD, but I'm not sure.
Then I'll just be like, yeah, it's solid, wow.
But yeah, I tend to go off task quite easily, and I've been referred quite a few times.
His teachers say that he copes with the work that's put in front of him if you're making him do it all the time. He's fine, but because he's so distracted in classes, he doesn't cope.
Liam's helping, we're working together.
Yeah.
Hey, Liam.
On my last few years at Long Bay, I think I've done pretty well. I've got academic honours for every year, so that's 4 years in a row. People seem to think I'm a prodigy, but I just know how to do well in tests. I do get asked questions quite a lot in class, and people will sit next to me to see what I'm doing.
Any other questions on that?
I quite enjoy learning, but there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of pressure to do well, and everybody expects you to be good in everything. But if you can get over that and kind of work out a balance, schools, it's actually quite fun.
Good morning. Hope you feel relaxed, it's long term. Right, a few bits and pieces. There's some major projects to be sorted out this term, there's a lot to do, but more to the daily business of today, so Pete.
Yeah, year 9 options, changing.
School's a great place, but it is the work of all of us. Our children don't mind if you're different or a bit unusual or anything like that, as long as you've got integrity, you're honest, you work hard for them, and you love them.
I'm going to wait for another maybe 10 seconds for you to stop
picture too?
You're back in the buttercup.
That's right.
Do up a 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 do up a. I like the mountains, I like the rolling hills, I like the flowers, I like the rolling hills.
We don't stream because streaming is shown not to work. It's not in the children's best interests. Having said that, you'd have different courses for different abilities. We would have a range of children here, from outstanding academics, people that are superb pianists as well and just seem to achieve everything, to children who seem to be struggling to achieve anything.
Can I have a word? When did school uniform children?
Oh, sorry, just put it on then. Feel your favour. Take it off.
Peter's daily walk gives him a chance to touch base with students.
Can I have a word?
Focusing on the small things can stop them turning into big problems.
Earrings. How many pairs do we wear? Walk and talk?
I got sore legs in.
We can walk, can't we? Yeah, good lad. Kane.
How do you like this?
Well, I'm sure that Kevin will have Mr. Parslow will have a word with that this afternoon. If it's that bad that you can't play rugby, because he says you're quite good for the team. Listen, here's the deal. Kane, if you don't do your detentions, we will take you off the team. I don't want to do that. You're going to force me to do something I don't want to do.
When I came to Long Bay first, I did stereotype it. I did think, well, this is a predominantly monocultural school that doesn't have certain challenges or problems that my previous school had. Since I've been here, I've realised that that is a stereotype. I think that there are challenging kids in every school. Kids are kids, teenagers are teenagers. Some of them have it rougher than others, but they come with similar sets of challenges.
Where we have students with particular needs, we do look very carefully at the placement of the classes, and sometimes we will move the student from one particular teacher to another particular teacher. Not that a teacher is better, but that the teacher is able to manage the style of learning that that particular student needs.
What sort of film techniques do you think are used there?
I don't even know any film techniques.
Okay, so brainstorm your film techniques first.
I don't even know, as I said, I don't even know any film techniques.
Okay. Repetition works really well. If you're in a situation where a kid won't do something, just repeating the instruction quite carefully and quietly.
I don't know what any film
Yes,
techniques
I'm hearing
are.
you, but can you just listen to me for a minute? And they'll come up with but this and just ignoring that. Don't get in a fight. It's not worth it.
If you cannot set up a relationship with Eli, the chance of him working was very limited.
Okay, what we're going to do, I think, is I'm going to test you on your quotes.
Some students will work perfectly well, whoever the teacher is. With Eli, it was very, very important to get that right.
When you're in the classroom, you kind of have to put on an invisible suit and just be that person who tries really hard not to get riled up. And I think as soon as the kids know that you're not going to have a fight with them, they just let go, they back off.
Research shows that generally the longer a student stays in school, the better their life outcome.
What does he want more than anything?
But a teacher can only do so much. Whether he makes it through the year will be up to Eli.
Personally, when I'm on gate duty, I try and say good morning to as many children as I can. People should feel good about coming to work, which is what the children are doing, and the staff. There are times when we heads down, work hard, but there's times when we have to party as well and learn to do that. We don't shy away from that in school.
Hi, Sam. Sorry to interrupt. Oh, that's fine. We have roses
Yeah, and I think it adds a lot of atmosphere. I taught at single-sex boys' schools. My children have gone to co-ed schools. Need I say more? I am afraid this is the real world. I watch my children with envy, and many discussions of people like me that have been to single-sex schools are all saying the same thing. Sorry, but every wise parent should send their children to a co-ed school.
When you go through university, we learn how important PE is and all that sort of stuff. When you get to a high school, you realise how far down the pecking order PE can be. There's the old adage, if you can't do it, teach, and if you can't teach well, teach PE. You get that a lot.
I don't do anything inappropriate. Actually, that's not bad gun statement.
I love teaching, but there's times, and there'll be hours and minutes where I hate it, but it doesn't take long for the next class, something to happen, either super funny, someone to ask a question, and you think, wow, he's got it. You realise you're actually making a difference. Oh, I've got a poor girl who's got nits. And the kids go, I don't want to touch it. I'm like, I mean, there are lows when you're having to battle a student for something that's completely random. If you've had a student who's been on and on and on at you, it's really difficult, and you might be at that point where breaking, and you go to your next lesson, and someone will come in, and you've probably let some behaviour slip all year. They'll do that same thing again, and you could just tick off.
Kasha, come here.
And that's hard.
No, I told her, so...
No, you don't tell a teacher, you ask.
So you've got to enter each lesson, try to clean that slate and go, no, we're going to start fresh.
First period, it starts off, and you're there.
Off you go.
Now, second period, the bell goes. Now, you have no choice. There's not like, just hang on, I will take 10 minutes, I'll have a cup of tea, I'll just think about this one a bit, you know, and I'll just take a breath, and then no, the next class is coming in. So there you go, bang, the third period bell, bang, next class is coming in. And so no matter how prepared you are, the fact of it is, it just keeps going.
I got one of these. I haven't had one of these for a while, Eli, suggesting that you were intimidating another student.
Oh, no, that was yesterday. I remember, sorry, that was yesterday. I've been in the seat for the whole year. I didn't say it in an intimidating way. Can you just get the front of my seat?
The teacher saw it a bit differently. You said, get out of my effing chair, and you repeated that another times while kind of standing over the student, and it looked like you were physically intimidating him. This is pretty serious, Eli. It's harassment of another student.
When Eli's behaviour starts to affect the other students, a family conference is called.
I think things have got a little bit rough, haven't they, the last few weeks?
I agree with you there.
Probably I'm going to ask Mr Rolls to just summarise where we're at, Eli.
I would say that in the last 2 weeks, Eli, your behaviours have become more challenging to the teachers, particularly maths.
The research out of Otago that's just been following children as they grow up shows that when children go off the rails, it's immensely difficult to put them back on the rails. And you're almost talking one-to-one treatment. So what do schools do? You can force the children to stay here, but when you get children that will not stop harassing other children, what do you do next? Just to be clear, though, if the attitude and things don't go away, then we do not have a lot of choices as a school. The discipline has to hold. If you keep repeating that behaviour, I have to suspend you, because that's what the board will expect me to do. It is your choice whether you back us into that corner.
And you're looking at the number of excellent...
While Eli needs help just to stay in school, academically ambitious students have their own needs. Tiffany is intent on being this year's top academic student, or DUCS.
And they're full fee-paying ones, they're really to die for.
Only the top 3% of Year 13 students will achieve a scholarship.
When you're at a state school, there's such a wide range in your class, and it's really good to kind of have that exposure to see that everybody's at different sort of levels and everybody has different talents in different areas and stuff. And I think that's quite good to have, because if you're good at something in a state school, then you're quite far ahead in a way. Long Bay College supports, the sports quite a lot as well, and you don't have to be good in class to, be recognised, which I think is a really good feature of it.
Good relationships between students and teachers rely on support from parents and caregivers. Parents might once have taken a teacher's word over their child's, but times have changed.
Hello, Russell Brookie at Long Bay College. Hi, are you okay to talk there for a second? No, you're welcome to your opinions. What I'm saying to you is, so obviously something went very wrong in that whole conversation, and she's as unhappy about it as I know your daughter is. Apparently there was quite an exchange of words between both parties. Well, there's some witnesses around as well. Everything we've done about the school has been to open up the communication with parents. The dean's getting on to learning conversations and ringing home, the emails going home, trying to communicate and trying to get them involved. If we all just stop for a second and say, hey, families and schools, this is important. Hilary, just while you're there, I've just been speaking to Miss... She's put the phone down on me and slammed the phone down on me. because she wanted me to haul you in and make you apologise to the child and everything like that. And basically I said, no, I'm not doing that. Anyway, just so you know, no phone calls to the mum, don't receive, and same with you, Pete. I mean, you can deal with it, but...
Thank you. I think most parents realise that teaching is not easy. I get quite a lot of parents go, I couldn't do that, you know, it's difficult enough with 1 or 2, never mind 30. I think some parents feel that because they went through education, they know everything there is to know about schools, and schools have changed an enormous lot in the 20 years since parents were at school, so we need to get them into school as much as possible to see the kind of learning that's going on and to work with us.
This is very important. We've got parents coming, as you know. We can't have it like this. This is an absolute mess.
So you mix and mingle, your best voices, nice and polite. If you get cold, come and see me, because I've got those other 2 coats in the car for you.
Difficult parents are probably the most common challenge. Parents and children don't communicate very well sometimes, and little Johnny's got one way of explaining the situation to his parents, and the real truth might not be exactly how little Johnny explains it to his parents, so they come back to me and, you know, I either get the parents being angry or having to explain the real situation to the parents, in which case everyone's a bit embarrassed.
Parents are busy, but I think parents understand that school for their children is important. There's very, very few when we've contacted them that say, I'm too busy, I'm not interested. They may not initiate that first conversation just because they've got an awful lot of other stuff inside their lives, but virtually all parents will want to be involved.
Clearly, that's so important that parents support their children.
Okay. Now we've just got to work towards excellence.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can get there, though. But some parents support their children in a negative way. They're supporting negative behaviours of their children. That's probably the most frustrating thing about my job. I can have a student who's very talented sitting in front of me, but because the parents are happy for them to keep doing those negative behaviours, then the child's not actually meeting their capability or their potential.
Another politically charged area for teachers and parents is sex education. It's a big ask for teachers, but a compulsory part of the curriculum.
OK, guys, just stand along the road, any order, doesn't matter where you are. If you really strongly agree with this statement, you're going to move along to this end. Mr. Smith should not be teaching me about sexuality. My parents should be teaching me. Do you agree with that? There's not one person here who thinks that sexual education should be taught by your parents and not at school. These guys in the middle, what do you think about it? Someone just said it's wrong having to talk to your parents about these kind of things. So poor Mr. Smith has to stand in front of you and teach you all about it. Is that right?
I think schools do pick up a lot of things that could be argued to be taught in families. At the same time, there are many parents who wouldn't feel comfortable about sitting with their children and having a very open, frank sex education lesson. And that's a strong part of our curriculum. Schools have to walk a line, but to be honest, my impression is that the bulk of the community are almost relieved. It's a conversation that doesn't have to be so overtly had in the household.
The children are getting younger and younger at getting involved in drugs, sex, alcohol. When I started, it was more year 11s. It's now year 10 and year 9s. The year 9s think that by year 10, if I'm not having sex, I'm not cool. If I don't do this, I'm not going to have a boyfriend. If I don't do that, he'll go with someone else.
Why do condoms slip off or break? Chris?
Because, like, it might not be put on properly, and then if you go, like, too fast,
The sex might be too fast and vigorous, mightn't it? OK, and the condom can't cope. That may be, well, one of the things. What have we got? What have we got? A plastic penis. But is that erect or not? OK, so I've opened up the condom, OK, and then I'm placing it over the head of the penis and I'm rolling it down, OK? And it's on the outside, it rolls down nice and easy, OK? So it rolls down nice and easy. There you go, girls.
I'm very aware of the responsibility that comes with teaching these kind of subjects. I've got 2 boys. One of the boys is exactly the same age as the class I've been teaching sex ed. I find it much easier having 30 students in front of me and talking about puberty and talking about contraception than I do confronting my own son on the situation.
My teacher, Mr. Smith, he gets very uncomfortable and it's really funny for all of us.
I wish I had a different... At year 9,
girls start to get interesting. I'm pretty sure most guys my age would say that.
When we enter into college, we're usually turning 13 or 14, which is when we become a teenager, and I think it's really good that we're learning this at this time.
I try not to preach, and I hopefully don't let my own personal beliefs get in the way of what I teach. There's a curriculum that's put down, and I try very much to teach that curriculum. But at the end of the course, I'd hope that the students are educated in those areas and that they're able to make sensible choices.
James has work to do. Deaning is really interesting in that you see a very different side of all of the students than what you would if you were just a normal classroom teacher. When you're a dean, that's kind of part of the job, is that you're finding out about these students and how things are going for them holistically more than just in that one particular class. Some things that I've been dealing with lately are issues with home life. Students being thrown out of home because of their behaviour at home. Alternatively, students running away from home. Parents giving students alcohol, students giving other students alcohol. What's in here?
Juice.
It doesn't smell like cranberry juice.
Fine, tip it out then.
Students selling drugs to other students. Certainly it's quite common to have swearing at, being disrespectful to, throwing things at teachers. I've had a couple of instances of all of those this year.
I'm just chasing after my friend and my shoe came off. And now it's not there. Somebody might have thrown it over the wall.
No keys.
The old-fashioned view of a dean was it's about telling the child off and catching up to detentions and punishing. Our view is it's about the learning, to support the teachers, get alongside the child, to try and get the child to believe that they're a good person, they've got a future, get their heads up, looking forward. Not every child, it's impossible, is going to fit within the rules of a school. Adolescence doesn't allow that.
What we've got here, try and have a look. You've got 10 merit credits and 17 achieved. If you'd been able to keep that...
Eli has avoided suspension. He's working on NCEA, but he's still struggling with authority.
It's got more fails on there now than it did have, so
yeah.
It's not that good. Yeah. I need to try a lot harder.
Yeah. You don't want to give up on any student. You want every single kid that comes through your doors to achieve and to get there. But with a student like Eli or someone who has got ongoing behaviour issues or ongoing learning issues, when you invest your hour of time trying to help that kid, it's a risk. It might mean he's actually successful in the future, or it might mean no change at all. You just don't know. Whereas your regular students that often don't get any attention, you know that 10 minutes of your time will lead to a positive result.
Teenagers, as they grow up, there is going to be issues of harassment come up from time to time. We are lucky here. There are very few. How do I know that? The children tell us that. I have random groups of children we interview, a number of ways that we know. But that doesn't mean at some point it doesn't happen. Tell me about bullying. Who could just give me a picture of what bullying is like at Long Bay College?
I think cyberbullying is an issue.
Facebook?
Tumblr.
13-year-old girls on Facebook and those things there, definitely an issue with putting each other down. Again, we don't see a lot of it, but yes, it does happen. But where there is serious bullying, then there'll be serious consequences.
We were in the changing rooms, and this time they actually called me nigger in front of everybody, and then they start laughing at me and they're telling girls to don't talk to me because I'm a bad person and stuff, and it's just, and they're really racist towards me.
Can I be a bit blunt and say what kind of racist terms?
They call me black and I'm a nigger, and they just say, oh, you're so lame and stuff like that, and it just, I don't mind that, but when they're racist, it's just really annoying because I've had that a lot before and it's not very nice.
Yeah. As I say, I'll call up these people, I'll have a chat with them, and then we'll take it from there and perhaps talk to the parents as well to say that this is just going too far.
Everybody's taller than you. They all look down at you like they're big and strong, and it can get to you. Yeah. Bullying sort of has affected me in a way because of my hair mostly. Name calling is part of it. One time I got somebody following me around school thinking I was a heater. Everybody thinks, oh, I don't want to go to that school because I heard everybody gets bullied. and then they get to their school and they're like, oh, it happens here as well. If you make a name for yourself by running away from people or cowering or seeming scared, it's not going to do you any good. Once you get your own group of friends and you've got like your own place that you always go to, nobody's going to bother you.
I had one on my knee the other day, but it got all dirty, so it's in the wash.
No, but what's this got to do with you being late today?
If you're not in class when the bell goes, it's detention.
My dad's radiator was like frozen this morning.
What have you done with it? Swallowed it?
Yeah, it's just not in my mouth. I'll take that.
Wearing a lot of makeup, Savannah.
Yeah, sorry, I've just
You need to get that off as well, please. Can you get that off?
I've just been crying. So.
Oh, why are you crying?
There are always the issues with children that don't go away. Family problems, somebody's sick, somebody's dying, somebody's got cancer. Those things go on and they will be everywhere. The fact that it's a Decile 10 school, we're not sponsored very much by the government. We don't get nurses, we don't get social workers. So every single problem from every single child that comes up comes down to this office.
Most large New Zealand high schools have a guidance service and an ever-increasing number of students seeking their help.
Teenagers at the moment are under an awful lot of stress. All this stuff comes through on their phone or on the internet. They see this and they think, oh, they're the worst person in the world, they're fat, they're ugly, they're this, they're that. They don't talk about it to anybody and the whole thing builds up and builds up.
They are at a vulnerable age between the age of 12 to sort of 17. Their peer group is very important to them. Their need for connections with people that they like is very important to them.
During the course of the term, I would say we cover more or less everything that is out there, from petty bullying, children who go out and get themselves into situations where we need to call in the police, abuse, major anxiety and panic attacks, that fear of I'm not good enough, through to children hospitalised for attempted suicide.
Some of them are going through some pretty crappy things, and some of them are doing crappy things too.
Self-harming is huge. Some of them will have cuts that are just a scratch. Others have got terrible scars all over their bodies.
For both the students and the school, the strictly confidential nature of counselling means these issues get resolved outside of the classroom.
If you look at every deputy principal's bottom drawer, you'll find knuckle dusters, knives, all matter of stuff. A lot of it innocent, a lot of it stupid children, but every now and again you will have a child that did mean to hurt another child, did want to attack another child, did want to flog dope. And should the other 1,800 children be put at risk from that?
Actually, if you just mind leaving the classroom, please.
It's good for the drug dogs to come in because that way people also understand that there are consequences. The way we look at it is there's a small minority who do it, and we look at them like, it's fine, you can screw up your life if you want to.
Not allowed to search children. You kind of don't need to if you handle things right. But we'll go into the classroom and sniff bags. And if they find something, then they'll alert us and we know whose bag it is, and there'll be a conversation somewhere else.
If you go in the door and look at the two girls sitting in the far right-hand corner, there's a pink bag on the floor she showed a lot of interest in. Backed to it 2 or 3 times, but didn't actually indicate on it. She showed there's 2 girls in the floor. I don't know whose it is, but it's in that
Back right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Nothing was found on this visit, but a few weeks later, an incident did occur.
So you opened the stall door, did you, and walked out, and there they were. Your friends just happened to be in the toilets.
No, I walked in with them.
You went in with them?
I knew what we were going to do, and then
right.
I needed to go to the toilet, so I went to the toilet and I walked in.
See, the thing was, what really concerns me is there was drugs in that toilet.
There were drugs?
Yeah.
No, there were not.
Yes, there were. You tried the dope or it was cigarettes. The others have already admitted that it's cigarettes. I think it was dope.
It wasn't. We only had cigarettes, so I didn't smell any drugs in there. I've never done drugs, so I don't know.
And how long have you been smoking?
It was my first time yesterday.
First time cigarettes?
Yeah.
What does it taste like?
Disgusting. I'm so disappointed in myself.
What would your parents say?
I was really disappointed in them.
The decisions that you make sometimes are very hard. You do have to be thick-skinned. They're not easy. You are making very important decisions on students' lives. So any of the difficult decisions I still agonise over. You know, we don't make the really serious decisions lightly, and I always like to bounce them around with 2 or 3 other people before coming to a really serious decision.
Right, so update me.
So I phoned tell them that we are going to suspend. Could be smoking, but a strong smell of dope in the room, and yeah.
Disappointing, isn't it? They're all just getting a bit too tired, losing the plot.
Yeah, the term was about a week too long.
Yeah, well, 2 was a week. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Just too tired.
Students, unfortunately, being students, will push boundaries. If they don't find those boundaries, there will be consequence. And hopefully that consequence is a learning consequence. What we're trying to do is give the kids a consequence that stops them doing it again.
Honestly, I can pick out 5 people in this room right now who have 4 earrings in instead of 2. Come on guys, seriously, wear your uniform correctly, especially since quite a few of you are in my classes and you sit in front of me and you pick your hair up and I can see the earrings. Take them out.
In some ways I've enjoyed other years more than this year because I have so much more responsibility that I have too many things to worry about. Having to be head girl, represent people and show people that I am on a certain pedestal. Can you give me a jumper, please? You have to be responsible, but then going to see your friends at lunchtime is awkward because you want to just sit and relax and kind of take the head girl hat off and just do nothing. But then something will happen on the field, so you have to go and sort that out, and it's awkward to separate the two.
I'll be there in a second.
But this year has definitely been amazing, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
One of the highlights for Ashley is organising the annual ball, but for many schools the ball can bring its own set of problems. Alcohol, post-ball parties and increasing scrutiny by the media.
And we'd like you to come up in an orderly fashion to that and shake our hands so that we can meet and greet everybody as you do in these sort of functions.
I know you'll be gathering at people's houses before the ball, that mums and dads will want to see you and take photos. That's fine. As far as I'm concerned, there is no after ball. And I hope that I can wake up on Sunday and there are no dramas, and that every one of you is safe and sound, sleeping it off, but having had a wonderful, wonderful evening.
So we've got lights going up here, got the tables already set up, which is quite nice. So we've just got people doing the roof, which is proving to be a challenge at the moment, but that's all right.
For head girl Ashley, the ball is a chance to dress up and celebrate her hard work.
This one.
Yeah.
Thank you. This year, I haven't had much of a social life. One, because I've been too busy, just with my schoolwork on top of being head girl. But you can't go to a party and get snapped with a photo of someone drinking next to you because then it's perceived that you're drinking. And if I'm not 18 by that point, it's perceived that I'm drinking underage. So I haven't been able to go to a lot of things and do a lot of things that I've wanted to do during the year.
And even at her own ball, she can't completely relax because, like her teachers, she's working tonight.
David and Courtney.
Some of the students will go on to after parties, but the school's responsibilities for the evening ends once they leave the ball. What happens next is out of Russell's hands, however the night passes without incident.
Contraption on your head, what's the reasoning for it?
I shaved my hair off for cancer.
Yeah, which is very, very commendable. What we don't want is the entire school shaving their heads and wearing beanies. Good girl, OK.
Look, Granny, 3 excellence credits at level 2.
He's got 30 credits.
But you need 100 and something, don't you? 80.
You're not even halfway.
It's been a rocky year for Eli, but now he has a goal. He wants to get into audio engineering school. He needs NCEA level 1, but he's behind on credits.
I believe I can get close. We've got an assessment for maths coming up and I don't understand what's going on. I've asked him and tried to get help and I have no clue what he's talking about.
If you do achieve this, this will open up a whole bunch of doors.
Yeah.
I would be of the opinion, if you get close, to say to you, you might not like this, you are not leaving on the 2nd of November, you're coming back the following week and you will keep coming back until you pass level 1. I'm not saying resit.
Yeah,
but not leaving.
It's an opportunity.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say no to you.
I didn't say, did you not just hear me? I just said yes.
Otherwise it'll be coming back next year.
Yeah.
This way, if you commit to doing something like this,
yeah.
and I know it's hard,
I
you
just
need your
said
day-to-day
yes.
thing,
I
you
just
know,
said
listen, then you can...
A day later, Eli has been sent out of English.
What happened was I was in SIFT homes and I ran away when I was in SIFT. Throughout that time I moved heaps of schools. My mum committed suicide when I was 3 just to bad circumstances and postnatal depression and stuff. No one really knew the real reasons, but yeah.
Plumbing and drainage, check all new and existing pipe diameters, gradients, etc.
Exactly.
So that would mean locations as far as I'm concerned as well.
Yes, it is.
Prior to commencement.
Yes.
These issues should have been raised with the school before any building started, and that's IPM's problem.
Russell's responsibilities aren't just education related. As CEO of one of hundreds of schools hit by the leaky building crisis, he has a multi-million-dollar headache.
This is a contractor's responsibility, not a school responsibility. Architects getting things wrong, engineers getting things wrong, council not picking up on the problems. One of our buildings is part of a court case now with the Ministry of Education. Another one has been monitored for the materials. Those are huge court cases in terms of the volume. Our science block alone is $4.5 million. And I understand that the national bill is over $1 billion just for schools. I don't think the taxpayer has any knowledge of how big this problem is.
Property is just one part of the picture. As a dynamic contemporary high school, Long Bay's operating costs far exceed the public funding allocated for its 1,800 students.
What the government provides would cover between 45% and 47% of the operating costs of the school as you've seen it. The rest is from our own business, and the bulk of that comes from the international student programs. Our school is very unique in that it's a very European school, but our international students do add a richness to this that otherwise we wouldn't have. So it has a financial boost, but also a real educational community boost as well. But we've got to have the money.
School property funding is only provided for students who live in zone, so high schools put on travelling roadshows in intermediate schools to encourage local children to enrol.
It's got to look really good. An on-3 roadshow. 3! Roadshow! Right.
This is a community school, and we want our community here. We're getting great academic children, great sporting children, all sorts of children, special needs children. We are getting a rounded community, and that's what we want.
My name is Aiden and I'm an academic leader.
And I'm David and I'm the other academic leader.
Hi, I'm Ashley and I'm the head girl.
And I'm in charge of enrolment, and I'm hoping to see all of you in the next few weeks at the school. We'd love to have you.
New students are often attracted by extracurricular activities like sports or drama. For a school to shine in these areas requires extraordinary commitment from the teachers.
I was at school for something like 30 evenings or something this year, and that's a huge, huge drain on my family. But in order to do the performing arts, that's part of the job.
Play the 15 in front of you. If it's a Westlake, if it's a Rosmini, if it's a Glenford, if it's a Kristen, that doesn't mean shit to us. On a weekend for rugby, generally my whole Saturday's gone, and that's for 2 to maybe nearly 3 terms of the year. We have training practices on a Tuesdays, Thursdays. You'd have your other rugby teams which you have to be involved with on a Monday and a Wednesday. Then you have your summer sports as well. Come on, push, push, you got to catch this next one up. You'd be working from around about 8 till 5, and then you'd have also your marking, report writing, planning for the next day. That's all got to come into play.
So there's teachers here at this school at 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, every single night. There's teachers here Saturday, there's teachers here Sundays, there's teachers just giving their time. I can't acknowledge that because of the pay system, even though this school earns 50% of its own money. Do I want to go to a system where I have to say that teacher A is better than teacher B? That's just a minefield to measure. No one in education has been asking for performance pay. But what we have asked for is flexibility to acknowledge hard work.
It's now October.
All right, I have a free 5 minutes.
Over the last 3 months, Eli's turned a corner. Desperate to get into audio engineering school, he has lifted his game, but he's still failing maths.
You're getting a test on right-angled triangles, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to do it.
The first thing is called Pythagoras. Let's put some lengths on here, this is in centimetres. That one, if you square it, and you write on that one and square it, you get that one. Well, let's work it out. 3 times 3?
9.
4 times 4?
16.
16 and 9?
25.
And then you square root that to find out what it is.
That's like 5.
5. The kids know that you are interested in the subject area, that you are interested in them. They know that they matter to you and that you actually want them to do the best they can. That comes across, and kids can spot a phony or somebody who isn't that bothered a mile off. We're back. Hello, Rosie. We keep missing each other. Eli is in my office. Yes, that's where he's at. So he's on 55 at the moment, 5 in PE and 10 from music. Level 2 credits of music will give him 70. He's got a maths assessment in about 10 minutes' time that will give him another 4 credits, which leaves him 5 credits short. So those exams will help.
There will be some principals who stand up and say everything should be by exam. I'm not in that camp. I think it's a mixture of both. What I'm pleased about with our school is that our internal results are very close to our external results. In other words, we're not jacking up the internal results to get our kids through.
Bell. I can hear the bell. I was
Where were you?
at English block.
Hello?
I missed my bus.
You missed your bus.
There's nobody there?
That's fine.
No one at all. So do you want me to try period 4 maybe?
Sorry.
Bring breakfast.
I need a copy of my exam timetable.
Chelsea, Corey, Thomas, and Elias.
I like NCEA as a system. It enables the students who are willing to work hard and try to do well. The kids here know they are being successful when they see themselves getting merits and they get excellences. It enables them to develop skills of self-management and learning and timekeeping and things like that. I think it's a good system.
Our school, NCA, is a byproduct. It's growing fabulous children, that's the big thing, who are capable of taking the next step. They will collect NCA as they go past go. But we're not just aiming for NCA, because as soon as they get university, or as soon as they get a course, or as soon as they get a job, who cares about NCA level 2? It's irrelevant.
Looking forward to seeing how I did this year, because year 13 is quite challenging because it's not just your schooling that you have to deal with, you know, there's so much more outside of that. So it has been a bit harder for me this year. A couple of practices kind of been a bit, you know, not like my usual.
Scholarships can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, so exam results could have a real impact on Tiffany's university future.
I'm also really excited because I'd love to see how I did, and I'm really looking forward to prize giving as well.
We're hoping for the best possible day today. We would like today to be as normal as every other day of the year, where possible.
It's a very scary day in schools. Sometimes last days can go wrong.
What fun, eh?
Always.
They've been at secondary school for 5 years, then they're intermediate school and they're primary school. Isn't that something to celebrate? That they've survived it. And I like the staff to see that. And I think that when you walk amongst it, you get this incredible feeling.
In any school, the last day of term is about controlling chaos. The year 13s may carry it a bit far, but it's a bit like leaving home. After today, they head out into the real world.
Shine a light on me. Let the midnight special. Midnight special. Shine ever loving light on me.
It's wonderful at that end day with a class. You've had this magnificent time with them. My God, you've got to know them. And on the last day with most classes, you go, right, so last day, thanks a lot, you're great class and that. And you're getting ready for this big speech of leave taking and they go, see ya. And off they go, they're out, you know, see ya. And you're like, but.
The mountain is waiting, so get on your way.
But with the year 13s, of course, it is something. It is a leave taking. And sometimes some of them will say, oh, this is what you did for me, or this is how I feel in this group. And it is just a wonderful, wonderful thing.
I'm making your last school lunch ever.
When I look back on my achievements and everything, I'm quite proud of myself.
Ducks of Long Bay College 2012 is Tiffany Ann's. Tiffany is a true academic. She's received excellence or endorsements in NCA Level 1 and Level 2 and was named the top academic student for both those years. So that's 3 years running you have been our top academic student.
I've just kind of made myself believe that I was going to do the things that I wanted to do. I am proud of my achievements, but I'm also looking forward to continuing that at university and, you know, my future and everything.
Okay, so currently he's showing 57 credits at level 1 and 13 credits at level 2, which makes 70.
Yeah.
The English department think it's likely he has passed the 10. So what we'll do, Eli, is we'll assume for the moment that you have passed level 1.
I've actually gained a lot of respect for the school, because without them I actually probably wouldn't have passed my level 1. They made lots of different arrangements for my timetable, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked with the school.
Welcome to the final Year 13 assembly. To start proceedings this afternoon, into books.
If we've got it right, you'll be sad to leave, but you'll be itching to leave, and you'll feel that conflict. But really go and get life if we've got that right. So I hope we have.
Warning you, I am going to cry. I can feel it already.
Oh, come here, you two.
You're amazing people, and I can't wait to come back in 10 or 20 years and see what you've done. So I love you all.
Class of 2012, you're free to go home.
This world of theirs is going to be incredibly exciting but challenging, and they're going to need to be tough, able to see the wood from the trees, and to find meaning.
And I guess I enjoy the fact that it matters, you know, that these kids get a good education and enjoy being at school will matter to them for the rest of their lives.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.